What's up there, YouTube? So today I'd like to talk to you guys about I was looking at videos online. I've got a sore throat. I've had a cold for the past few days, so I haven't been able to talk. So that's why I haven't made any videos the past like 4 days over the holidays. But it's Saturday, the Saturday after Black Friday, and I was watching videos. Of course, that's all I had plenty of time to do while I had a sore throat, was sit around watch YouTube videos. And I saw a video from our good old buddy, the angry photographer, and he was typical angry photographer, which is bashing, just throwing out ridiculous bashes. If he doesn't like something, it's the worst thing ever. And then he says he gives it a 4, like the Z series 24-70 f4 lens. This lens right here, it's 24-70 f4. He gave it a score of 4 out of 10, and he said it was the worst thing ever. Then he gave it a 4 out of 10. Then he said that it was it wasn't the worst ever, but it was horrible. It was a horrible lens. And yeah, nobody likes this little click part at the beginning. It clicks out to turn on, but it makes it shorter so that it packs closer. So I see why they did it. They did it so that it'll pack in. It doesn't bother me. It literally doesn't. I turn on the camera, it says extend lens, so I turn it on. I mean, it takes 2 seconds. It's not a major thing for me. The fact that it clicks out to turn on. Build quality, anybody could, you can be irritated at the build quality of the lens because it's, plasticky materials and stuff, but it feels solid. It feels like a pretty solid lens. The glass in it is like, even the angry photographer said, he said that it was one of the sharpest lenses he's used. It's extremely sharp. And then he said, but it's not a very good lens. Well, if it's extremely sharp, and corner sharpness all the way into the corners was extremely sharp, but it's not a good lens. I'm confused. He didn't like something about it. He didn't like. I think it renders the colors really nice. I think it's extremely sharp. It works great. And he said it's not a portraiture lens. Well, I beg to differ. I've used this lens. Yeah, the 85 1.8 is a much better portrait lens, or 85 1.2. Obviously, that's a better. This is 24-70. So 85 is always gonna. If you're doing portraits, headshots, 85 is always going to be like a sweet spot for a lens, for a portrait lens. 135 is an awesome portrait lens. The 70 to 200 or the 70 to 200 at 200 makes the really creamy, really nice looking lens, a really nice looking background. It gives a different look depending on what look you're going for. But this is not a bad lens, not even close to a bad lens. In fact, it's one of my favorite little lenses because the image stabilization, I don't think it has it built in, but it feels like it does. And it's a fantastic lens. So I wanted to show you guys some photos of people to show you how great of a lens this thing is. I shot several things recently with the 85 and this lens for shooting portraits, and this is a fantastic lens for shooting portraits. It's got the switch on the outside for auto to manual, so you can quickly flip it to manual if you lock in a subject and you don't want to move. You don't want it focusing, hunting around. Also, he didn't even talk about the focusing. This thing focuses ridiculously fast. It's one of the fastest focusing lenses I've had. I mean, it just, boom, it focuses fast and silent. And you can use it for video. It's completely silent for video. And it doesn't have it doesn't focus breathe like a lot of the other lenses for video. When you zoom it in, or whenever it focuses, it doesn't do a lot of focus breathing. So for video, this thing's incredible. And for photos too, it's a great lens. So let's take a look at some of these shots I did in Lightroom. So what I've done was I've sorted these all by, these are all taken with this 24-70. These I took a bunch with this one and with another lens. And this is a poet slash rapper, Christian rapper guy here in Jacksonville. He hired me. I met him at a park, and several years ago I was flying my drone on 4th of July, and he approached me, and that's his son. So he's the guy on the right here, and that's his son. That's him, and that's his son, and that's his dad. So they wanted a photo shoot. I went out and shot him. So let's go to 100% on this and look at this. So it's clear. It looks good. Their faces look nice. I mean, let's go to another one. It looks nice. These look nice. I mean, it renders very nice images. I mean, there's no, and over in the corner, it's sharp all the way to the corner. I mean, you can see the leaves in the ground. I don't understand what the complaint could be with this lens. This is a fantastic lens. I mean, is the 24 to 70 f2.8 better? Of course it is. But that's a much more expensive lens, and for the price, this is a really good lens. Let's get some more. I'm going to do some wedding shots too. I'm going to open up some wedding shots. Like this is, see, it's right here, 24 millimeter f5.6. So I step it down anyway, but look, it's very sharp, it's very clear, and it looks good. The colors are nice. Look at the colors, nice. They pop out, and this is at ISO 120. Shot of them. It looks nice. It was raining. That's rain on his shirt. That's rain in the air. It was barely raining that day. But I mean, looking at these pictures, I'm shocked. Well, maybe the difference is I actually know how to shoot with the camera, and I know how to use the lens. Maybe that's it. Maybe I do it professionally, so the lens isn't holding me back from making fantastic images. It's not the lens. It's not the gear. It's the operator probably. Yeah, could it be a better lens? Yeah, sure, of course it could. But for the price, and it was actually basically included as a kit lens, and it rained, it's weather sealed. It's got the weather sealed gasket around it, and it works great. It's sealed right up. I didn't have any problem with water or anything in the lens. It was a fantastic lens. I had no problems with this lens. So I don't understand the hate. I get it. There's better lenses, but there's no reason to say that this lens is miserable lens or a terrible lens. It works great. You know, when you're talking about, when you see people on, these people go on YouTube and they make a video and they want to bash something. Oh, blah, blah, blah. Like his biggest gripe was on the Z6II. His biggest gripes were where the thumb holder is, because it's on the flap. I've had these Z6IIs, or the Z6s, for 2 years now, using them every other weekend for weddings, and it's never came, the little flap. I'll show you. Hold on. So, okay. So let me tell you, his complaint was, see this little thumb rest? That's where your thumb goes, right there. And he said, if you've got your thumb on that, it's resting. A bad design was that it's resting on these little plastic hinge things that hold this thing in. Well, you can push this thing as hard as you can. I've had 70 to 200 lens on here, holding it by the camera, and it's not. In 2 years, I've never had that. It's actually ingeniously designed. He could say it's a bad design, but to me, they did it perfect. Let's see. Let's get a list of how many people have broken this little clasp because it's where your thumb goes. It makes no sense. He's mad at where the card goes in. It's right here, and it has no problem popping out and pop the card in. And it's not just a plastic piece. There's a metal spring in there. See the metal? There's like a metal spring in there. There's a metal tab and a metal bar that goes across there, and when you push this thing down, it slides into the little groove. The metal piece slides in to hold this in place. This thing's held in. It's not going anywhere. I've never had this button that holds on the camera come out. It's never came out, and it's not breaking. It's never broke. I've got 2 cameras. I've got thousands of pictures, thousands of hours of holding this thing for video, thousands and thousands, tens of thousands of pictures on these, and I've never had an issue with that button. That was one of his main gripes, was a bad design. That's a bad design. Well, how about the way you sit around and clip your microphone's a bad design? This is not a bad design. This is fine. There's nothing wrong with this. It works perfectly fine. I use it to hold the camera all day long and not have a problem. It's not a bad design. It's a smart design. They figured out how to make this work and hold this in and not flip out or break off. I mean, maybe in 10 years it's going to break off. By then, who cares? You're not going to be using this camera in 10 years. It's going to be an old body that nobody uses anymore. It's just ridiculous to go off on, that's just petty. You're just picking at petty stuff. Oh, I don't like where the thumb is. It's stupid. It's stupid. It literally is stupid. So there was like that. Oh, what was it? What was his other complaint? I don't know. It was all petty stuff that makes no sense to me. He didn't like where the battery door holds the. He didn't like where it holds the thing. Oh, yeah, I don't like where the door holder is. So what? Doesn't hurt anything. Anyway, back to the pictures. Anyway, these are all at f 5.6, 4.5. This is another shot. I mean, it's clear. It looks good. I try to keep the aperture, close it down a little bit so that it gets more in focus. So all these guys are in focus, and that's blurry back there, which it is. See, it's blurry over there. These guys are all in focus. His son's in focus. Here they are around some trees. I just don't get it. I don't get the hate for the lens. I think it's a fantastic lens. It shoots. The pictures look nice on it. The people look nice. It's a good portrait lens. It really is. Now, it's good for many people. If you want to shoot headshots, then by all means, grab the 85. Grab the 85 1.8 at least. That's a fantastic lens. So let's look at those real quick. I'm going to look at those 85. Let's look at the 85. These are all, see, I just sorted them by this. So let's go to the 85s. Now let's look at the 85s. Now, I mean, yeah, see, that's the 85, but it's a prime. You're always going to get sharper pictures, sharper images, and better images from a prime lens. You just are. If you're trying to do run and gun, you're walking, you're doing a lot of moving around, and you don't have time to change lenses. I had 2 cameras. I put one with this and one with the 85 on it, and I just left them on there because I'm walking around. We were walking outside around buildings, out to the grassy area with the trees and stuff. I didn't have time to be switching lenses all the time. I don't have, it's run and gun. So I want something where I can get wide or to 75 millimeter, 70 millimeter, 24 to 70 from a wide shot to a narrow shot, and then a portrait lens for quick, get some portraits. So at 100%, look at that image. That's the 85 1.8. I mean, come on. Anybody can see clearly that this is a ridiculously good lens. I mean, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to see that this thing is freaking fantastic. That actually got on his nose. It didn't get his eyes. Actually, his nose and his teeth. I think I probably got his eyes in the next one. I don't know if I even had eye autofocus on this one. Either way, these are all 85. These the eyes were all in focus. So let's look at some wedding photos real quick. So I'm going to go to Open Catalog. So we're gonna do some look at some wedding photos real quick before I end this. But I honestly don't see the yeah, I don't see the reason to put for all the hate on this lens. Yeah, it's not the greatest lens, but it's not you're not paying friggin' top dollar. This was basically a kit lens. You paid like a couple $100 for this, whatever, like $400 or something. It was an expensive lens included with the thing. So let's do this again. These are all on the 24-70. So this is the same lens, 24-70. See, it's at, what is that? Okay, that's at 57 millimeters, 50 something, like 58 millimeters, give or take. So, I mean, it does a great job. Look at the background's nice and smooth. Their eyes are all nice and in focus. Here's a watch, because you want a wider lens, so I got all the people here in the shot. They all look great. I don't understand why people hate on this lens. Nice shot with all the guys. They look great. See, I don't get the hate for this lens. It's a great lens. It looks great. Yeah, the background could have been a little softer if it was a f2.8 or something, but it's not. It's an f4. It's fine. It renders the colors really nice. It looks good. If you ask me, it's a good picture. Is it perfect? No, but it's a nice picture. They look nice. They're in focus. It's sharp all the way to the corners. And look at the grass. It's sharp all the way down. Well, this is starting to get blurry right in the very, very corner, but that's probably outside the focus area. It's hard to say, but I mean, pretty sharp, pretty clear all the way around. And even he said it's a very, very sharp lens. So the lens is sharp all the way to the corners. It focuses fast. It's plasticky, but it's not that bad. It doesn't feel like Sigma plastic, the old Sigma lenses. This feels like one of the new Tamron lenses, something like that. That's what it feels like. It's a decent lens. So I don't know what all the complaints are, or why this guy just always goes off and decides to complain, hits or something. I don't know if it's hits on the thing or whatever. He's always bragging about how he's not sponsored and stuff. Well, nobody's gonna pay him to sponsor stuff anyway, because he's odd. Because he's an odd guy who always has complaints about stuff. That's why they don't want to sponsor him. He complains about petty stuff that's not important. Like the thumb thing on the cameras. Nikon doesn't sponsor me. Nikon doesn't sponsor me. Yeah, because you complain about stupid stuff like this. You don't like where the thumb rest is. Okay. All right, great. Well, let's see how it in real world use, how does that thumb thing affect you? Not at all. It works perfectly fine. It's never broken on me. I mean, a bigger issue was the rubber coming apart right here in the camera. Let me go back over here. I'll show you guys something. So a bigger issue on these lenses, on these cameras, was this rubber coating that's on the grip and stuff. The rubber coating right here where you put your fingers in, right in this area. If you have fingernails, which I don't have, it scratches this rubber in here and it peels it. It causes it to peel. Now, I don't have fingernails at all. So for me, mine are just like new. On both of my cameras, they're just like new, because I use these two buttons in here. See these two buttons right here? I use them all the time, these buttons. That's my focus buttons. I'm always using them, and I'm always gripping the camera like this. I don't have any fingernails. See? None. So mine are just like new. My rubber isn't coming apart, nothing. But people with fingernails, when their nails rub on that plastic, that rubber, it peels. Now, to me, that's a bigger design flaw. They should have put like a different thing right there where your fingernails go. Like, it shouldn't have had the rubber coating there. It should have been something else, like a smooth surface, like on the top. Like, use this hard plastic smooth surface that's in the other areas on the camera. Put that like where this comes down. Just make it go across down this front piece right here. The same black that's right here on the top. Let's see if I can get it to show. So this smooth black right here, make that go all the way down past the buttons, and then you won't have to worry about that rubber coming off. Just make the grip rubberized all the way to the edge right there. Make a little line and seal it somehow. But that's a design flaw type of thing. Where the button is, where the thumb rest is, isn't a design flaw. It's nitpicking for no reason. Anyway, YouTube, my throat, I don't want to talk too much because I'm going to wear my vocal cords out. But thanks for watching. If there's anything any questions you guys have about lenses or about anything, I've got a shoot coming up on December 12th, just like a week and a half, 2 weeks from now. Not even, about 2 weeks, almost, not even 2 weeks. December 12th, I've got a shoot. I've got a wedding, and I'm going to be shooting with these two, and also with the new 70-200 2.8 Z lens, and with the 20 millimeter. And I'm going to test the 20 millimeter on here. I rented the 20 to test to here to see if it'd be a lens that I would like to use for doing these videos like I do right here for now, so that I can move around and not have to worry about staying perfectly in line and in focus in the line of focus right here. So anyway, I just thought I'd give it a shot and try it out. Basically for that, since I was already renting the $2,500 70-200, I wanted to try that lens out because I got another 70-200s, and I wanted to try that one to see what that lens was like for the wedding. But anyway, holler at you later. Take it easy, YouTube, and I'll do a review on those. I was going to do a motorcycle review on my Bluetooth system, but I haven't been able to talk, and I can't talk real loud. So even if I did do it, I would have to talk loud on the microphone in the thing, and I don't want to be yelling in my motorcycle helmet with my sore throat. The weather's been nice. I just got done cutting the grass. I'm in Florida, so weather in Florida is nicer than, most parts of the country where it's cold and snowy. We got nice 80-degree weather here, so it's perfect motorcycle riding weather. It's just I haven't been able to make the video because of my sore throat. Anyway, I'll let you later, YouTube. Give us a thumbs up if you liked it, thumbs down if you didn't. You thought I was stupid, or the photos are terrible, or I don't know what I'm talking about with the lenses, or whatever. Holler at you. Take it easy.